I feel.
Yeah. Question for Robert. Been a big fan of yours since Less Than Zero. Great movie. Just wondering, in your preparation for this movie, how much of the actual original comic books you read, and whether you read a lot of the original stuff that Stan wrote, or you read a lot more kind of current stuff. That's it.
Well, I didn't have any apprehension. There was no fear about filling this character's shoes. So I just posted up at the production office like a wayward soul and tried to sponge up as much as I could. But Stan and I, well, I paid, but I took Stan to lunch at the grill in Beverly Hills. Now he can get a table there anytime he wants. And I remember when I picked your brain and I asked you about what was the impetus for writing this. So basically I just followed what hopefully he'll say about why Iron Man actually came into being. You remember that part, Stan?
I got to tell you about the lunch I had with you. It's probably obvious to everybody who knows me. I am the biggest name dropper in the business. After we had lunch together, my whole conversation, no matter what I was saying to anybody, I'd managed to drop into the conversation. Well, as I said to Robert Downey Jr. just the other day. But the best part about it, this was a restaurant I'd gone to a number of times. You know, I stand, come in, and I get a table somewhere in the back. It doesn't matter. I made the reservation, and I said, I'll be with Robert Downey Jr. Well, you should see the booth they gave us.
Stan, they were just happy I wasn't in the bathroom the whole meal this time. Now, let's stay on topic.
You know, I told you when I met you, I don't like to be topped. And about that question, are you using any of the stuff that I wrote? I have 20 lawyers watching and going over every line of the script. You all better be careful.
Okay, first of all, a huge thank you to you guys. The trailer, that's a superhero movie. That's plain simple. Casting, beautiful. You guys, and Robert, you're a Tony Stark. John, I love it. I followed your career. I love your career, and you're doing great. The whole thing I really want to know is, there's so much history with Iron Man, and there's so much to cover for the story for the movie. What parts did you pick out? Of course, there's the origin, but up to now, there's the ultimate. Up to now, he's public enemy -- which makes him cool.
Well, he was public enemy #1 back when he was designing weapons during Vietnam, too. You know what I mean? That was to answer sort of the question before as well. Iron Man was never made to be a likable guy. It was always meant to push the limit of how far could you make a dude, how far could you push a person in a direction and still make him empathetic to the public. And I think people have gotten scared over the years. I liked it when Han Solo shot Greedo before he got shot.
Yeah!
And I still liked him, you know, and I think Iron Man's the type of guy that if he lives by a code, and if we could have good acting and good storytelling, how high do you want to raise the bar? He's a guy that you don't like on paper, but you got to respect him. Now what's happening in the Civil War, let's see how those things play out. But I think there's a lot of respect between those characters from what I could tell. And so that's what makes an interesting story for me. It's not, I can't write a story, I can't direct a story about a teenage kid having a tough time dating. That's not, you know, in Swingers I could do, you know, talk about that. Now I'm 40 years old. Thank you, the 3 people who bought a ticket when it was in the theaters.
If we had had a writer like Jon Favreau at Marvel years ago, it wouldn't have taken us as long to overcome DC. We could have done it faster. This guy, he understands the characters, he understands the medium, and with Robert playing the lead and with John directing it, I mean, we can't miss.
Next.
Hi. First, I think you guys did a great job casting this movie, and it's one of the first comics I ever read growing up. It's great to see that it's finally getting its due, being made into a movie. I just want to know, you talked about doing a spin-off into War Machine. I was with the Hulk that they had before this in Iron Man. Has there been any talk about doing anything with like the Avengers, or at least a crossover with all the heroes that we have going on in the movies in the Marvel Universe that are out there right now?
Yeah,
That'd be cool,
Avengers.
guys. You want to see that, man? That's definitely the plan.
We're running out of time here, guys. Do you think, should we play it one more time?